Hello everyone. In this topic or in this video, we'll be looking at errors in measurement. Now, what is an error? Error is deviation from true value. Because all our measurements have some error, whatever measurement we get, there will be an error which cannot be made zero. So the study about these errors is called errors in measurements. Now, errors can be classified into two categories, that is systematic errors and random errors, depending on how the errors occur. Now, what are systematic errors? The systematic errors are those errors that tend to be in one direction, either positive or negative. Some of the sources of systematic errors are instrumental errors. Instrumental errors means the instrument is not working properly or the choice of instrument is not correct. Imperfection in experimental technique or procedure. So the procedure that I'm following might not be correct or might not be appropriate for that particular measurement. In that case, there would be an error that also gives rise to instrumental error. Personal errors. Personal errors is errors in made by the persons. Persons like when they're checking, overlooking some values or not looking for parallax error and all those things which are within the hands controls of person are called personal errors. So grossly, systematic errors arise due to imperfection in instruments or measuring techniques or improper way of taking the measurement. So these are the things which give rise to systematic errors. The next type of errors are random errors. These errors take place in random manner and error in each experiment vary in size as well as sign. That means random errors can be positive or negative. And because they occur randomly means we don't have any control on them. So these are the errors which occur due to conditions which are beyond our control. Now this can arise due to random and unpredictable fluctuations in the experimental condition. Change in the pressure, change in the temperature, anything which is beyond our control. If that results in an error, that's called random error. The random errors can be minimized by repeating the observation large number of times and taking the arithmetic mean of observation. As we know that it's impossible to have an exact same experimental situation throughout the measurements. So what we do is, in order to minimize it, instead of taking a single measurement, we take a set of 5 or 10 measurements and then find the mean of it. In that way, we can minimize the random errors. Now, how do we measure what are the various ways of measuring errors? The first way of measuring errors is called absolute errors. It is the magnitude of difference between the true value and the measured value of a physical quantity. So what is it is? True value is considered to be the correct value of measurement, and the actual value of the measurement that is given, the difference between both of them is called absolute error. Now, what is the true value? True value is the mean of the values of the measurement. Here you can see that if A1, A2, A3, so on, I take n measurements, then mean of those measurements is considered to be true value. Now, in the absolute error of each measurement would be what? The difference between the measured value and the true value. That will give us absolute error. So you can see that delta, I'll have absolute errors in each measurements. So after that, what we have is we have relative or fractional error. The error of mean, the ratio of mean absolute error. Of course, in the last slide we didn't see that mean absolute error is the mean of all absolute error is called mean absolute error. Now, relative or fractional error, the ratio of mean absolute error and the mean value of the quantity measured is called relative or fractional error. Or in simple words, mean absolute error by true value gives me the relative error. Now, this relative error can be converted into percentage error by multiplying 100. So this is how we find relative errors, percentage errors, and absolute error. So this is all about the basic things of errors, and in the applications of how do we find errors and all those things that we'll be doing while doing questions. Hope you could understand everything properly. Thank you very much.